Now, with Tanya Francisco and Amy Rutledge, this is Daytime Chicago.
Yes. I love this movie.
I love this movie, too.
Yeah.
The kids don't get it anymore. It's so good. Hey, welcome to Daytime Chicago, everybody. It is our neighborhood special today. We are taking a deep dive into Norwood Park, number 10 of Chicago's 77 community areas, and a very historical area in Chicago. So Norwood Park goes as far north as West Albion, as far south in some parts as West Gunnison Street. It's bound to the west by North Canfield and to the east by Austin and Nagel Avenues. It has many notable buildings. Taft High School served as the inspiration for the musical Grease. And Chicago's oldest building in existence sits on North Newark Avenue in Norwood Park.
Yeah, it was built in 1866. The noble Seymour Crippen House today serves as the Norwood Park Historical Society and Museum. In a little bit, we're going to be talking with the leaders of the Norwood Park Historical Society to find out more about this community.
Norwood Park is also home to some great
While Norwood Park is home to some amazing restaurants, stores, and more, it is also home to the oldest house in Chicago.
Judith McIntyre and Arthur Crumry from the Norwood Park Historical Society join us now with more. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, so we were talking about this is the oldest house in Chicago. It's on 1.5 acres. That is a huge piece of property for our city.
It is a very big piece of property, and the house is the oldest house in Chicago, and we get no government funding. It's all done through volunteers. We have no employees.
Wow.
And the organization itself is 51 years old.
Wow.
That is amazing. Well, of course, with some of the music we've been playing throughout the morning here, we associate Norwood Park with Taft High School, and Taft High School is associated with the musical Grease.
Yes.
Yes. Talk a little bit more about the playwright for Grease. Went to Taft High School?
Went to Taft High School.
Is that what I understand?
Yes.
Art can do that.
Yes. He was a graduate of Taft High School, and his name is, but he
was a Taft graduate.
Yes.
yes.
And so you guys at the house, it's still a functioning, I don't want to say home because nobody lives there, but it's almost like a museum, correct? It is a museum.
It is
Yeah,
very
sure.
much a
Okay.
museum, yes.
The second floor has a museum.
Okay.
And we have different exhibits. Now, the exhibit that just finished is the bridal exhibit.
Okay.
And that was put together by design people who are volunteers, who also are professional designers. And so it was so well received from the community. And we had over 200 visitors.
pretty.
Those dresses were, it was just beautiful. One of our members, Laura Banish, who's in that, it was her idea. And she took it from the very beginning of an iota of an idea and did it to fruition. And people just loved it. Children would come in and they'd see their grandmother's dresses. So that was lovely.
Let's talk about the history of the neighborhood. You said that the house right now where the Historical Society sits was built on a ridge?
Yes.
Tell us about the significance of that.
Well, Mark Noble was a farmer, and he found that the ridge was above the swamp, and so he was able to farm fertile land up on the ridge. And when our book comes out, it will tell the story in great detail in November.
Okay, so what the book is just about the detail or the history of Norwood Park.
The
History
history
of
of Norwood Park.
Wow.
And when he built the house, it was only 875 square feet.
Oh, wow.
And as you can see from these photos, the house itself was expanded by the next person who bought it, who was on the Board of Trade and who was one of the developers of Norwood Park. And they developed the 600 acres into all these different home sites.
And the house, was it constructed that well, or was it just well taken care of that it's been able to survive this long?
What a good question, because we'd like to think we're good stewards,
both, a little
but
both.
I'm not sure about that one.
It was never a log cabin. It was built by hewn logs from a sawmill on the Des Plaines River called the Nobel Bickerdike Sawmill, the family of Mark Noble. So it was never a log cabin.
Okay, and so you guys are hosting more events. You've got the yard sale coming up. I know you brought some
yes,
vase.
we brought this little, can I pick it up?
Oh, just if you leave right there, you can get a
all
shot
right.
of it. Yeah, so we can see what it's from. What is this from?
This is a piece of Bleak china that someone has donated to us.
Got it.
It's part of our yard sale. Last year we had 500 people come to the yard sale and a total revenue to us of $10,000, which is a huge amount of money. So you can imagine there's a picture of it. Thousands and thousands of items come in, and we're sorting items and doing all this setup for weeks. But it's such a wonderful thing for the community. It brings in people from all over the city who would not know our museum existed, and now they're aware that here's the Norwood Park Historical Society, which is just great.
That is awesome. But you do a number of events throughout the year, right?
Oh yes, we rely solely on our events for our stream of revenue. We have a historic house walk that's coming up in July. We're celebrating the 150th birthday of July, and we have a garden walk in July. And in the historic house, we have 9 different houses that have histories, and one of the houses, the history is sad, but it's very interesting. They lost 2 of their children in the Iroquois fire.
Oh, yes.
And then a few years later, the mom and the daughter went on a voyage, and they were on the Titanic.
Oh my goodness.
They were survivors.
Wow, really?
Oh,
really?
they survived.
Wow.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
not
okay.
such a sad story.
Oh, okay.
I
I was like, wait a second.
Right, you were both starting to look.
Well, and Art, you raised your family there too. You guys love Norwood
Yes.
Park, and the proximity
Yes.
to downtown is just wonderful.
Right. But as I said in my biography, my wife and I moved back to Norwood Park because she took the train to downtown Chicago. Get there in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was able to drive to the Loyola Health System very easily down First Avenue. So it was very convenient. The transportation is wonderful. And we're both avid cyclists, and so we can get on the bike trail in Caldwell Woods.
Oh, wow. That is amazing.
Great
Thank
location.
you, guys.
Yeah, thank you both for being here. We really
Oh,
appreciate
thank you
it.
so much for the opportunity.
Check out the Norwood Park Historical Society for yourself over there on Newark Avenue. You can see the social media handles as well as the website. All the events are listed there, so you can go and see it for yourself. Thank you.